Hi, this is Carlton G, and I'm coming to you with another book that I've written. Now, remember, my business supports my ministry, so this is not a biblical book. This is a book, a universal hand and foot scorebook. All right, now, and this was done in collaboration with another person, Annette A.M. Rafferty, who is a hand and book or hand and foot player who's pretty good at the rules. So if you haven't played hand and foot is an evolution of Rummy, Canasta, and Samba. Now, you might not have ever played hand and foot, but most people have played Samba or Canasta or Rummy. By the way, a canasta is just 7 of a kind, and a samba is just a run of 7. What's a run? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, there's a run for you. With wild cards, things change, right? And so it's a pretty fun game, but it's kind of like Mega Rummy. You have 2 hands, that's where you get your hand and foot from. So each round is, you have 2 decks, kind of like. It's kind of complicated, but it's not kind of complicated. It's just more in depth. So hand and foot is really a card player's game. Now, I'm going to interject here for a minute. I know there's a lot of Christians, especially fundamental Christians such as myself, tongue talkers, that we believe in casting out demons. We believe in talking in tongues and praying in tongues. We believe in speaking healing to people that don't believe in cards. I know there's Christians that don't believe in playing cards. I have no problem with it. I was raised playing cards. I was never ever told any of the bad things about cards. It wasn't until I was an adult when I read that there was a mystical side to cards. Now, I haven't really thought about it a lot because it's never been that for us at all. And it's kind of like the thing going around with yoga right now. There's people say if you do any yoga at all, any of the stretches, that you are inviting those demons into you. And then there's Christians that say, look, we do those stretches all the time, and we don't invite any of those demons into us. Who's right on that? I don't know. But I know for me and my family, we have played cards. We are a card-playing family. When we get together, we play cards all day, all right? Everybody in the family played cards. My grandkids learned to play cards when they were 2 years old. They were playing fish or crazy eights. So we're a card-playing family, and we do not ascribe to any of the spirituality of it or whatnot, but we play cards. And we do gamble, but not like you gamble. We gamble pieces of candy or pennies. Now, there be people that say, oh, you're teaching your kids to gamble. That's bad. Well, I would have to say this. I taught my kids to gamble and my grandkids to gamble. And it's the best thing I ever did. None of my kids gamble. None of my grandkids gamble. Why? Because they lost to grandpa so many times. They despise gambling. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. But anyhow, moving on past that, the Hand and Foot Universal Scorebook. Now, it tells you everything in it you need to play hand and foot. We also suggest some machines. All right, there's an automatic shuffling machine. You need 6 decks of cards to play hand and foot. And so it's a lot easier, way easier to use an automatic shuffling machine. There's what we like to hold our cards in. The wooden card holder, just for us, works so much better than those cute little plastic ones. And we tell you all the points in it and the spread and all that. We got a couple versions of different rules. A.M. Rafferty and I have a version of the game we call Garlic, which uses black 3s, which if you don't know much about hand and foot, that's very rare. Now, as you see here, we have the scoreboard, and you can see all those different kinds of canastas and melds and stuff you have in there. A meld, by the way, is simply 3 or 4 of working on a canasta or a samba. All right, so a meld of a canasta would be 3 of the same kind. A meld of a samba would be a run of 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a meld. Okay. It's not hard. It's easy and fun. But the problem we had was we would find books like these that didn't have the proper stuff in them. Now, I'm not saying all books are wrong, all right? They're not. But we bought a scorebook that was like $25. That down here where you add the score up, it didn't have enough lines to total the score up. And that was just an error. Somebody didn't pay attention. And it had all this cute other stuff all over it, but not enough lines to total the score on every hand or every round. And so, oh my goodness, God forbid. So we fixed that in this book. Like I said, this is part of my business, and the profits from my business support my ministry. So we're hawking this book. It also comes in Spanish. I don't have a Spanish copy here, but it's on Amazon in Spanish, the Universal Hand and Foot Scorebook. You get over 100 score pads, which is more than a lot. A lot give you like 60. And it's for $19.99, which is not bad. There's a picture of it when we used it when we were testing it out. My favorite version of Hand and Foot, which, like I said, is basically just mega rummy. That's all it is. Just stuffing yourself full of rummy. Just rummying yourself to death. And that would be Hand and Foot. And my favorite version is garlic. Garlic, you use black 3s. You got to have 4 black 3s for any of your points to count. So you lay out that meld of 4 black 3s. Then you have an option to try to make a canasta or of 7 black 3s. It can be no more and no less. If you do, then it's minus $2.50 a piece for each black 3 you're under or over. So that makes it kind of exciting. Annette, or Miss Rafferty, likes Chetco rules, where black 3s are just garbage, and you don't worry about them at all. I learned to play Hand and Foot from my mother, who's a retired school teacher, who taught me how to play games as early as I can remember, and it helped me with my math. It helped me with addition, which is math too, I guess, apparently. Yes, helps me with social skills. But I remember as a kid being able to play Crazy Eights and Fish with other kids and help me with social skills. All my grandkids, by the time they were 2 and 3 years old, could play Fish or Crazy Eights. All right? So I would encourage you to use cards as a way to teaching your children how to add, how to subtract, how to converse. All right? When we're with the grandkids, everybody talks. Okay? Talk about something. What did you do today? How was the dog? How was your walk around? How was the store? You went to the store to get some candy. How was it there? Were there people there? Homeless people? What was going on? So cards isn't just for playing. It's for conversation. And then, like we said with the gambling, we never go over a penny. We've been there. We tried nickels and dimes and quarters. That leads to petty fights. There's nothing worse than a petty fight over $5. All right. So I would wrap that up. I would not gamble over a penny and our candy. And then one piece at a time. And then that makes it challenging. You know, there's a competition. You get to win something, but it's not ridiculous where it's going to break my heart because you want a piece of candy or you took a penny from me. All right. The Universal Hand and Foot Scorebook on sale now at Amazon near you for $19.99.